Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that many of you have been curious about. You know that feeling you get, that little voice in the back of your head wondering, is she jealous? Well, today we're going to decode those subtle signs together. Relationships can be tricky, right? And sometimes it's hard to tell if someone is truly happy for you, or if there's a touch of green-eyed envy hiding beneath the surface. So grab your detective hats, because we're about to become masters at spotting those subtle signs of jealousy. 1. The backhanded compliment. Okay, first up, we have the classic backhanded compliment. You know the ones, they sound something like, "Oh, wow, that dress looks surprisingly good on you." Wait, surprisingly, what's that supposed to mean? It's like they're trying to be nice, but there's this little barb hidden in there. Like, I'm surprised you can pull that off, but good for you. It's all about the tone, people. And the worst part is, you can't even get mad because then you just look insecure, right? So you're stuck there like, thanks? I think it's a lose-lose situation. But here's the thing, those backhanded compliments, they're often a sign of insecurity and yes, jealousy. They're a way for the other person to try and subtly bring you down a notch. So the next time you get hit with a backhanded compliment, just smile politely and remember, it's not about you, it's about them. 2. The copycat. Have you ever noticed that when you get a new haircut, suddenly your friend shows up with a suspiciously similar style? Or maybe you bought a new dress, and bam, there she is in the same one the next week? Now, I'm all for a good twinning moment. But when it becomes a pattern, it might be a sign of something deeper. Jealousy can manifest as imitation, my friends. It's like they're subconsciously trying to become you because they admire something about you. Maybe it's your style, your confidence, or your sparkly personality. Who wouldn't want to be more like you? But instead of just telling you they think you're awesome, they try to emulate you. So if you find yourself constantly being copied, don't be afraid to call it out in a playful way like, "Hey, great minds think alike, right?" Just remember, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, even if it is driven by a little bit of jealousy. 3. The achievement underminer. Okay, this one really gets under my skin. You know that feeling when you're so excited to share some good news, like you finally got that promotion or aced that big presentation? And then, instead of being happy for you, the other person tries to downplay your accomplishment. They might say things like, "Oh yeah, I heard that promotion wasn't even a big deal." Or, "Well, everyone did well on that presentation. It was easy." Excuse me? Did I miss something? It's like they can't handle seeing you shine, so they try to dim your light a little. We should be celebrating each other's successes, not trying to tear each other down. So if you're dealing with someone who constantly downplays your achievements, it's important to remember your worth. Don't let them steal your joy. You deserve to celebrate your victories, big or small. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and cheer you on, because those are the people who truly matter. 4. The one-upper. Oh, the one-upper. We all know one. You tell them you ran a 5K, they tell you about their marathon. You mention you're going on vacation to Hawaii, they casually drop that they're planning a trip to Fiji. It's exhausting, right? It's like they're in a constant competition with you and they always have to come out on top. But here's the thing, true confidence doesn't need to one-up anyone. So if you're dealing with a chronic one-upper, try not to take it personally. It's often a sign of their own insecurities. They might be feeling threatened by you in some way, so they try to make themselves feel better by outdoing you. The best way to handle a one-upper is to just let them have their moment. Don't engage in the competition. Just smile politely and say something like, "That's great. I'm happy for you." 5. The rumor mill. This one is just plain mean. Spreading rumors about someone is never okay, and it's a surefire sign of jealousy. Think about it. Why would someone go out of their way to try and damage your reputation? It's because they feel threatened by you in some way. Maybe they're jealous of your relationships, your career, or your killer dance moves. Who knows? But instead of dealing with their feelings in a healthy way, they resort to gossip and lies. It's cowardly, and it's hurtful. So, if you find yourself the target of rumors, the best thing you can do is rise above it. Don't stoop to their level by engaging in drama. Surround yourself with people who know the real you and trust their judgment. 6. The avoider. Have you ever noticed that someone who used to be close to you is suddenly distant? They cancel plans, they don't return your calls, and they seem to be avoiding you like the plague. Now, there could be a million reasons why someone might pull away, but sometimes it can be a sign of jealousy. It's like they can't handle seeing you happy and thriving, so they distance themselves to protect their own ego. It's sad, but it happens. And it can be really confusing and hurtful to be on the receiving end of it. If you're dealing with someone who's avoiding you, the best thing you can do is try to talk to them about it. Let them know that you've noticed the distance and you're wondering if something is wrong, and if they continue to push you away, well, then you know it's time to move on. 7. The critic. We all have that friend who loves to play devil's advocate, right? But there's a difference between constructive criticism and constant negativity. If someone is constantly criticizing you, even over small things, it might be a sign of jealousy. It's like they can't stand to see you do anything right, so they pick apart everything you do. They might criticize your clothes, your taste in music, or even the way you make your coffee. It's exhausting, right? And it can really take a toll on your self-esteem. So, how do you deal with a chronic critic? Well, first of all, remember that their criticism is often a reflection of their own insecurities, not yours. Secondly, try not to take it personally. And finally, if their criticism is becoming too much to handle, don't be afraid to set some boundaries. 8. The schadenfreude enthusiast. Okay, this one is just plain wrong. Schadenfreude is a German word that means taking pleasure in someone else's misfortune. And let's be honest, we've all been guilty of it at some point. Like when that annoying coworker who always steals your lunch gets caught with their hand in the cookie jar. You can't help but feel a little bit smug, right? But there's a big difference between a fleeting moment of schadenfreude and actually taking joy in someone's pain, especially if it's someone you're supposed to care about. If you notice that someone seems genuinely happy when you're struggling, that's a major red flag. It means they're not truly happy for you when things are good, and they're secretly hoping you'll fail. So, if you have someone in your life who seems to be a little too excited about your misfortunes, it might be time to reevaluate that relationship. 9. The attention hog. You know that friend who always has to be the center of attention? The one who tells the loudest jokes, wears the most outrageous outfits, and dominates every conversation? Now, some people are just naturally extroverted and love the spotlight. But for others, it's a way to mask their insecurities. And sometimes those insecurities stem from jealousy. They might feel threatened by your intelligence, your wit, or your ability to effortlessly rock a pair of skinny jeans. So they overcompensate by trying to outshine you in social settings. It's like they're in a constant competition for attention, and they're determined to win. But here's the thing, true confidence doesn't need to be validated by external validation. So if you're dealing with an attention hog, try not to let them steal your thunder. 10. The overly nice one. This one can be tricky to spot because on the surface, it seems harmless. Who doesn't love a compliment, right? But sometimes excessive niceness can be a way to mask jealousy. It's like they're trying to overcompensate for their negative feelings by showering you with praise and attention. They might compliment you constantly, offer to do favors for you, or go out of their way to be agreeable. But underneath all that sweetness, there's a hint of insincerity. It's like they're trying too hard and it just feels off. So how can you tell if someone's being overly nice out of jealousy? Pay attention to their body language. Do they seem uncomfortable or forced when they're complimenting you? Do their words match their actions? And most importantly, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. So there you have it, folks. 10 subtle signs that someone might be a little green with envy. Remember, relationships can be complicated, and sometimes it's hard to decipher those mixed signals. But by paying attention to these subtle cues, you can better understand the dynamics at play and navigate those tricky situations with grace and confidence. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next video.